Alright, good morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone. Today, I'm going to be covering the Utrecht again. I don't know how to pronounce it. I know. That's not the important thing. It's the gameplay and how to play the ship, okay? So today, I think I'm going to cover 3 games in it, which is a long video, so you don't have to watch the whole video. The game I recommend watching is the first one, mostly, and the third one. So basically what I'm going to be covering in this video is 2 really high damage games and then 1 really high kill game. The first game is the best game that I can feature, so if you just want to watch one of the games, I would recommend you watch this game because we get the highest base XP and the highest damage, etc. So the Utrecht, I have covered it in a review before, around maybe 4 or 5 days ago. But what is it? For those of you who haven't watched the review, because a lot of you actually didn't watch the review because I didn't get a lot of views on it. So I think I should re-explain what the ship is, etc. It is the new tier 10 Tech 3 Dutch light cruiser. Its gimmicks are basically the improved HE penetration on its main guns. It does have really low caliber. It has destroyer caliber, but it's got that German HE pen, so you go up to 32, so you can pen battleships. The shell travel time is really fast, even though they are low caliber guns. And more importantly, you do have the additional airstrike as well, which can do a lot of damage. It also has pretty good pen, 34 millimeters, and the drop time is pretty fast. And the reload time is also really fast, as you can see, 30 seconds. Anyway, Utrecht. Honestly, I've had a lot of fun playing this ship these couple of days. I played it around 16 times now on my main account, so I think I can pretty much really say how I feel about the ship now. But of course, I'll keep playing it today on stream, so if you're, wondering what you want to do today, if it's Friday, because I'm probably going to be streaming it on Friday again. But yeah, I played it 16 times in one day and had a really good time in it. I had a really extremely good time in it. My average right now isn't... I mean, it's okay. It sits around 160k, 161k with 75% win rate. That's also low. So I've had quite a good day. Maybe I had a lucky day, whatever. But that's kind of the experience I've had in it. We did get blind fired there. But what makes it so fun to play for me, I guess? Well, so good, I guess. Well, it's strong. It's really strong, yes. It kind of reminds me of something like... well, they're small ends. Now the commander is gonna talk a lot, by the way, in this game, because Dutch commanders seem to talk a lot, especially when we're using airstrike, etc. As you can see, the fires this ship can set is incredible. You can set a lot of fires really fast because you have the mixture of the main guns and the airstrike. Both of them, of course, will be lighting fires for you, so you can get quite good fire chance. Now, there are a few ways you can play this ship, realistically. Now, in this game, I wasn't dived with a smoke. So far in all my games, I haven't dived with a smoke. But of course, you can ask a random, for example, gearing player to ask you to smoke you if he's on your flank, etc. Just be nice about it and ask him nicely. And I'm sure he'll light the smoke screen or whatever. In this case, he did. I complimented him, of course, for doing that. He was very nice about that. Of course, try be nice, guys, to people in the game. And they'll help you out. You don't always need a division smoke bot to make things work. But the different playstyles you can implement in this thing are... well, you can sit on an island if you're playing solo. And you can achieve good results by just using the airstrike for the most part and trying to shoot your guns over islands. Keep in mind, your gun arcs are pretty flat on the ship, so you can't arc over a lot of islands in this game. Especially if you're right up against them. Another form of playstyle you can implement, which is kind of what I'm going to implement this game, is... you can kind of sit in the open, but if you're going to sit in the open, you need to stay dark, because if you're going to be using your main guns in the open, specifically against like battleships, etc., or high caliber cruisers, you're going to have a really hard time, living. This thing does take a lot of damage, even though it does have a speed boost. Remember, we're not taking... I'll show the build at the end of the video. If you want to skip straight to the build and come back or whatever, you totally could. But the build I'm running is the airstrike mod, which means you cannot take propulsion mod on the Utrecht. You could, of course, switch to propulsion mod if you want to. So, of course, give you that better open water maneuverability. I don't recommend so because, well, it does really buff the airstrike a lot. The module at slot 4, I think. Yeah, it buffs the airstrike a lot. because it gives you, I think, 20% better reload time, which is already a lot. And then it also buffs your plane HP by around 25%, I think. So it's pretty good. You kind of wanna spec into that. But as you can see in the open here, you just take damage for free because you only have 16 millimeters of armor plating. So especially against the Des Moines here, I don't want to take the train. Of course, he doesn't overmatch me, but he still hurts me a lot. And there's a lot of battleships here around, so I'm just gonna sit here in the open. Of course, dark, we have 9.8 detection, and sit out here, of course, and chill out. We can't open water, like I said, because even though we have speed boost, well, I'm gonna open water anyway because I'm really greedy, but you shouldn't in a real game. Well, this is a real game, but you shouldn't. This is called greed, guys. Don't be subject to it, because you might get one shot. Now, in this case, we didn't really get hurt too bad. But sometimes, you know, sometimes you can. If you feel confident that you're gonna be able to open water, you can. Well, for the most part, I don't think you should take too many risks. For the most part, you know. Now, this is like a dream flank you have on Utrecht. No destroyer on the enemy team to spot you, basically. So you can go dark at will. Whilst also there's battleships pushing in. Well, maybe they're not pushing in, but they're staying at that range where you can kind of farm them consistently. Honestly, pretty easy flank to play on. Nothing much to complain about. We're out to 160k damage, 11 fires, you know. We're doing pretty well. The nice thing about the bombs, like I said, is the drop time, the range, 14 kilometer, the reload, 30 seconds, and the penetration on them, really good. So pretty much they're almost the perfect airstrike. Of course, though, you don't have a lot of planes. So if they are grouped up together, they might actually shoot down your squad. And, well, you actually won't get any damage if they shoot down your squad. So, of course, the goal is to drop isolated targets. Like Howden Leo, for example, it can drop over, like, big targets, you know, like maybe bigger AA, because it has, like, a big squad. This one has a smaller squad, so you need to be a bit more... Well, you kind of have to think about your drop a bit more, I guess. But anyway, this flank going okay. Speed boost here, yeah. It's okay. The ship does go around 39 knots top speed, I think. I can't click H, unfortunately, I think. No, I can't to check. But it goes around 39.6 knots, I think. Pretty good top speed to rotate around. But like I said, we don't have that prop mod ability. So accelerating might feel a little slow, especially without speed boost on. It'll feel really slow for a ship of this size. Very small ship, you know. It feels like a truck, you know. Because on most ships, at least on myself, I take propulsion mod. So even like battleships will accelerate really fast, I guess, compared to this thing, you know, sometimes. With this build specifically. Now, the main, as we can see, DCP'd 1 fire. Now, main special ability, it has an F key where it reduces fire damage by 66%. So, if we get 3 fires, it'll basically do 1 fire worth of damage. If he has his F key on. If he doesn't, well, it's gonna do full damage. Well, of course, he's gonna use his F key, right? Why wouldn't he if he's on a big amount of fires? We timed the airstrike for his DCP to be off. I still need to get a bit better with leading on these airstrikes. We got double fire there, but I'm going to be a bit greedy here, and I'm going to try get more fires. I shouldn't, but he has no fire prevention, and I wanted the extra fire here. I'm really greedy for this. We get high caliber there, up to 209k damage. A triple fire. He does F key though, which means I think it'll only do around 1 fire worth of damage. But you know what? That's better than nothing, right? That's better than nothing. So that's pretty good. Now, these bombs don't have enough pen-to-pen American deck armor for American battleships, which is 38. You get 34. I think Howden Leo doesn't either. It gets 37. But I think the Prince gets the 38 or 39 mil pen. Prince actually has enough. But Prince also has the hardest to lead airstrikes of the... Well, the 3 or 4 if you want to count the golden version. The 4 tier 10 Dutch cruiser airstrikes. Yeah. Up to 224. We're chilling with 17 fires. The fire chance is incredible. Like every game, if you're playing well, you can kind of get 15 or more fires every game. Pretty much every game. But I think for the most fires I think I've got, it was like 24, 20... 25 fires. I'm not sure. We'll see how many we got at the end of this game. I think this game we got the most fires. I'm not really sure, but probably. Yeah. Here I get a bit greedy. I want to farm a bit of damage, you know. I want to get a fire on him. He just DCP'd. I'm a bit scared now. I start panicking, you know, and I start looking away. I'm like, you know what? I don't really want to die because the game's not gonna end. If the game's a guaranteed win, I don't mind, I guess. But the game's not actually a guaranteed win, so it's better I stay dark and potentially play for the team a bit more than just trying to kill myself to get 10k extra damage. So this Des Moines pushing up. I want to try get him. I take a blind shot here, I think, with the airstrike, but I missed because he was turning left. I didn't really pay attention. By the way, this isn't live commentary. These are 3 games from yesterday. I assume you know that because, well, I told you at the start of the game what I'm going to be featuring. But this one's not live commentary. But it's not a Twitch highlight either, because I guess I'm just, you know, talking over the game, which is kind of what most channels do anyway. So let me know if you like this format. I'm not sure what playlist to put this in. I'll see. It's kind of just commentary, I guess. Let me know what you think of this format. So yeah, there's not going to be much happening right now. We're going to be waiting for this Des Moines to push up. And there's also a Howden Leu there. I should have used AP there, but, you know, we didn't really know he's going to show up broadside, right? The AP DPM is incredible on this ship, by the way. You can get, I think I got like a 7k salvo. Maybe, yeah, I think 7k. I don't know what was my highest salvo. But you can get big salvos with the AP. If people are full broadside, of course, it is low caliber AP. So you do need we got 8 bump hands there, by the way. That's 12,000 damage on the Des Moines. The Des Moines is really low now. He did DCP. But as you can see, the airstrike reloads really fast. So you can kind of just, if you're low HP, you know, for example, like ships like Genon, for example, if they don't have smoke and they're low HP and they don't have heals or whatever left, they'll use their torps, you know, they don't have to use their guns. In this case, you're able to use your airstrike. And you can use airstrike over islands, right? Which is really nice, I guess, for you. Whilst Genon can't, you need a line of sight on the target, etc. Now, somehow here, I played it really dumb. And the Des Moines accelerated, and I fortunately did not predict his acceleration too well. Maybe he's unique upgrade. I don't think he is. I just kind of missed the drop. And he just does live on 1.6k HP. I didn't want to shoot him with my main guns because there is a super battleship in my mouth here. So if I do shoot him, I probably just end up dying instantly, which is not what I want. I kind of want to just chill out and play with the airstrike a bit. Because that's, I mean, you know, it is a super battleship with 16 guns, and it's relatively accurate, I would say. I mean, so if we shoot it, he's gonna probably just kill us straight away. Especially at this range, 13 kilometer, with no prop mod or anything. So we try to line up the airstrike. I think his AA is all smashed up from earlier because he's not AAing my planes too well. We only get 3.8k damage there, but we have another airstrike lined up because the airstrike reload is so fast. Look at that. So with 3 more seconds, and we hope we get the kill. Of course, I hope we always get the kill, but sometimes we don't. But let's hope. Come on. Don't shoot him better. Well, I know what's going to happen, guys. I know what's going to happen. Because I already played the match yesterday. But we do end up getting the kill, which is pretty nice. Now, there is a full HP Howden Leu. Mark my damage here. 262,500 damage, guys. I do play this a bit dumb because I go aggressive on him. I should not have gone aggressive on him. It makes it a bit... I would say it makes it a bit harder for me to actually do this. Going bow in here. So that's of course a mistake. I'm happy to showcase mistakes, but right, like I said, keep in mind of the damage, right? So we're gonna start laying some big damage on him. Double fire. Now Howden Leu does burn for 60 seconds, so every fire will smash him down. One thing to note is he does overmatch me everywhere because I have 16mm armor. In this case, probably the player didn't really know because Utrecht is too new of a ship. So he probably didn't know, so he's shooting HE when I'm angled, etc. He could do probably big damage with the AP, to be honest. But like I said, the ship's very new, so players are maybe less inclined to know how to fight against it, etc. But yeah, look how much damage we're outputting on this Howden Leu so fast. And in return, he's almost doing nothing. I would say, well, it could be due to the fact that he's not really using the AP, maybe. Who knows, you know, or whatever. But the HE isn't doing really much to me. And here he starts going broadside. I load AP. And hopefully I can showcase a bit of AP damage. 6.2k there, AP damage. And he's also burning for 1 billion fires, right? So we went, I think we got around 60k on that guy. 64k, which is pretty much his entire HP there. But look how fast we got to kill that Howden Leu. in seconds, right? I mean, how long did that take? A minute and a half, and we killed a full HP Howden Leu. And he did around 15k to me, I guess, in return. Now, of course, if he used AP, it would have been, you know, way better for him. But anyway, let's... I'm going to skip a bit this part because Humphreys does stay till the end of the game. All right, this is the end of the match here. Now, the Humphreys was trying to live the entire game, and he was trying to bait us with a shot here at the end, so I don't get the kill. But, like I said, the shell travel time is really fast on the Utrecht. And guess what? We still end up killing him, even though he shot after the victory sign. Think about that. Alright, so for this match, we got 326,252 damage, 537 shell hits, 84 bomb hits, 16 plane kills, 3 kills, and 25 fires. And a solo cap, well, that one's at the end, so it doesn't really count. But we got a Wither, Dreadnought, and High Caliber. Some basic achievements. We got 3.2k base XP there. Keep in mind, this is not with the Dutch Special Commander. The Dutch Special Commander, I can't showcase it yet. Of course, it's in testing. So this is without the Dutch Special Commander. If there was a Dutch Special Commander, the ship would be even better. But, you know, not yet. I don't have access to that, whatever. 3.2k base XP. Pretty solid base XP for this match. A detailed report, we got 93k damage on the main, 63k on the Howden, 5 HP on the Humphreys, 90k on the Iwami, and 43k on the Des Moines, and 35k on the Wujing. We pretty much smashed every ship on this flank that there was, right? That was pretty much every ship that was on this flank, and look how much damage we did to each one of them. Quite a lot. Our damage distribution came from mostly HE and fires, but as you can see, 66k from bomb damage. And also, unfortunately, we can't check how many of the fires got lit from the bombs, but I'm sure it's probably at least half of them. So that's pretty good bomb damage with the fires as well. We also took 56,000 damage here, mostly from the... well, actually, it was pretty even from everything, because we did stay dark. Well, that's pretty much it for the first game. Let's go into our second game. Alright, this is our second game. A Schlieffen got spotted in mid, so I started poking some fun at him. We got 13k and double fire on him. Now, I did overextend a bit here in the open, so I'm still spotted. Because, well, I'm spotted because there's actually a destroyer in around E7, E8. And we're spotted because of shooting from there, actually. And that was a mistake. I took half my HP for free for nothing. And you know... when you get caught out in a super light cruiser, you know, especially in front of secondaries, you're gonna start getting smashed. This thing's not that small of a ship, and it's not that maneuverable of a ship, like in terms of like, well, we're sitting there, we want to reverse behind the rock, so we're gonna be taking big damage, and in that case, we ate big damage. But yeah, we're up to 16k damage. Not too good, of course, because I didn't get a permafire on the Schlieffen, unfortunately, which I wanted. But as you can see, this gun range is really good. We got a fire there on the Colombo from 17 kilometers. I'm not sure if he DCP'd that or not. No, he didn't. That's pretty good. We get a fire there, which is pretty nice. But yeah, Estuary is probably one of the best maps you can get on a ship like this. Even Howden Leu or Prince, I guess. But especially a ship like this with quick reloading airstrikes, because you have these big islands in the middle of the map, which you can kind of sit behind. And of course, a lot of battleships like going mid. Double fire there. A lot of battleships like going mid and sitting in that area. So if, you know, they're not able to push and they're just sitting there like the Schlieffen is, we get to drop him for pretty much for free. And I get some good damage. So, yeah. So, Estuary is probably one of the best maps. Haven's pretty good too. Any maps where you can play aggressive on a rock and get drops off, you can have a pretty much a really good time in the ship. Now, of course, open water maps, are they bad for the ship? Well, they're not really the best. The reason being is, it depends. Honestly, it depends. Because last match, for example, we stayed in the open, right? But the reason we could stay in the open like that was because there was no destroyer to, like, spot us, etc. If you're gonna get spotted and you're playing open water, you can't really do much. Remember, you don't have hydro, you don't have utility in this ship. It's pretty much all about the damage output. So, if you are, you know, spotted, perma, you don't know where the torps are coming from, you're gonna have a pretty hard time. Not just because of the torps, but also because, well, you can't go dark. And remember, if you can't go dark, you're gonna get shot at, right? And if you get shot at in the ship, you're gonna get hurt pretty hard. So keep that in mind. So open water maps aren't as good for the Utrecht as, of course, island maps. That doesn't mean it's bad on open water maps. It really depends on, again, the matchmaking you get. For example, let's say the destroyer screening for his team and you're not able to get into airstrike range of the battleships. The ship's not going to be that good because, well, you're spotted the entire time. You have to focus on dodging, etc. You can't even get your airstrikes off. You pretty much remove half of your ship in terms of, like, what it can do, right? So, yeah. But if it's an open water map and there's no destroyer on that flank or you manage to kill the destroyer on that flank, you're going to obviously have a really good time. Now, of course, all of this could be negated if you take a smoke bot. I mean, you know, like I said, I didn't play any with a smoke bot, so from personal experience, you know, if you're gonna play legit, you know, gonna play legit, that is one of the disadvantages of the ship, right? And of course, most of you would play solo, so I have to, of course, say it how it is. Or at least from my experience, how I played solo. As you see, but though, we got a lot of damage there on the Smolensk because he's kind of just sitting there. And the reload on the airstrike is really good. So we can kind of just keep punishing that Smolensk, etc. We're up to 65k damage. As you can see, the damage this game is going up way slower than it was last game. Reason being is, well, most ships are invisible. Remember, even though we have the islands to use on this map, the unfortunate truth is, well, how do you spot the enemy ships in mid, right? To farm them. Because there's also a lot of islands they can use as protection, right? But if you do get spotting from, I don't know, could be a hybrid ship or a destroyer. Like, look at the Alarna playing very aggressive there. He's probably going to get spotting here on a lot of the ships. If you do get spotting, you can start actually getting big damage. Now, I had a review out on the tier 9. I forgot what its name was called. I think it's Cohorn or something. Cohorn or something. You know, I had that. I played on Estuary. I got 200k in the tier 9. The tier 9 is also a really good ship. But I had spotting on that match. So, of course, I was able to output more airstrike damage very fast, right? It was a shorter game, but I got more damage very fast. But in this case, of course, we're playing it slow. We can't get too greedy. We need to play very safe in a way. Because, of course, if we get caught out in the open or if we get spotted, these battleships are going to be shooting me. I'm a super light cruiser. They like shooting that. And some people were asking me, can you do the broadside technology like Smolensk? I don't know. I don't think you should take those risks with this ship. There's no reason to be broadside at close range like that ever. Like in this ship. Like this ship, you want to be further away, you know? You don't have torps at all, so there's no advantage for you to be close against a battleship like that. You're just gonna get smashed by secondaries. You do nothing in return extra than you would do at like 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 kilometers, right? So, well, 14, I would say. So, yeah. Our damage is going up slowly. We're getting some fires. This is a bit of a more boring match, but I wanted to feature it to showcase how, you know, the ship can farm quite good damage. And, of course, the match is never over till it's over. Look, we're losing the game right now, I guess, but we have actually a 4-ship advantage. I'm not sure if that's because the points are inverted or not in the training group. It could be, actually. It could be. But it's good to take games slow sometimes, especially in a ship like this. There's no rush to do anything crazy, especially on a standard battle game. There's no rush to actually do anything too crazy, right? It's better to play it more slowly, I guess. And to one thing, sorry, I want to mention is the arcs on the ship are like they're really good, right, for shooting at longer ranges. But when it comes to arcing over this island to shoot this battleship, we're having a really hard time. Now, of course, the simple solution is get away from the island, right? But then we're gonna get spotted by the Iowa. I mean, we're spotted anyway right now, I guess. But yeah, that's something to keep in mind is you can't really sit on islands the best. Of course, if you sit a bit further away from them, you can. But that means you are also putting yourself at risk to also get shot at in return. For example, I don't know, maybe a ship like Colbert. I don't know if Colbert could actually shoot over this either, actually. It seems a bit flat. But, you know, this one you actually have to be a bit further distance than something like a Colbert, I guess. Now that I was pushing up through mid, we have to keep in mind. We'll pay attention here. Yep, there he is. So, like I said, what's nice is you don't have to shoot in the open, but I am like a crazy man. There's a Colombo behind me, and I'm still shooting in the open, taking risks. Not really a good idea. You know. We gotta try get some damages. And we don't go on the airstrike on the Iowa because I actually want to fire on that Satsuma. I think he DCP'd or something. I'm not sure what the logic was yesterday. I'm sure he DCP'd my fire from before. So I wanted that permafire. Yes, that's why. And I got, I think, double permafire on him. So that's going to take him for quite a lot of damage. Now, he does have a lot of ships in front of him, that Satsuma. So he's probably going to get torped by all those destroyers. But, you know, we get some damage before he dies, which is pretty nice. This ship, really in general, is you want to get big damage. Right? That's how you're going to influence the match. That's kind of the only way you can influence the match. This isn't a ship like, I don't know. I don't know how I can give you another one. I'm thinking like, I don't know, Worcester or something where you have radar. Or I don't know. But that's kind of it, really. Well, you can, I mean, Colbert also, you know, it influences the match because, well, it has DPM, right? You do damage output. But at least it has Hydro. So if you come up face-to-face against a Smoke Destroyer, you at least have that counterplay in a way. Or even if there's a Destroyer out there, you have Hydro, you can scream for your team, etc. With this, you can't. This ship, the only thing you can do is damage farm. That's all you can do. And, you could say it's a bit of a greedy style, but at the same time, like we used to say in the past, you know, damage farming is still important to win the game, right? Because if there's no one to farm the damage, or if there's no one to deal the damage, how do you kill the ships, right? How do you kill ships without dealing damage to them, realistically? And how do you win the game without killing ships? Now, of course, you can cap her, but it's standard battle, so in a standard battle game, a ship like this can be really useful for your team because you're able to DPM things down really well. Now, this Annapolis does blow up here, which is kind of crazy. But in matches like this ship can be really useful. I think the ship can be useful in most matches. But, of course, you have less influence, I would say. It's almost like playing a battleship in a way. You don't have that Hydro radar ability. So you have to almost rely on your team a lot to win games. That being said, though, I had a really good run with it yesterday. I had 75% win rate. I had no problems winning games. You could say most of these games are one-sided, etc. But I'm sure the damage output is helping solidify kills and help, you know, get that win regardless. So, you know, so I'm sure it's helping in that way. Maybe not as useful as having a radar where you can just screen a destroyer out and just make him unplayable on the enemy team, but you're almost like with these airstrikes you're pushing people back. Maybe that's why I was winning a lot of games. You have that ability of pushing people back without even being spotted. Why would they want to be pushing into a ship that they can't even see? If there, of course, there's no destroyer to spot you. But why would they want to be pushing into a ship they can't even see? That's also able to damage output. It's almost like stealth firing in a way back then, you know. This stealth firing was removed from the game a long time ago, but I'm sure some of you remember. It's almost like stealth firing, where you're able to output damage without even getting spotted, you know. That's kind of how it feels like. So yeah. Now, of course, Howden Leu can do something similar, but this has higher top speed, so you can kind of rotate around a bit more than Howden Leu. You don't have to be, like, locked onto an island as much, I guess. You also have slightly better concealment. Not that much better concealment, funnily enough, than a one of those ships. But we're up to 281k damage this game. Like I said, this match, the second match of the video, is going to be a bit boring. We're kind of just sitting behind rocks. But it kind of gives you the playstyle that you want to be using in the ship. That's why I'm happy to showcase some more content on this ship. But it is a new ship regardless. I'm sure you guys will enjoy watching a few games in it. Especially some high damage games. But the next game will be a more, well, lower damage game. It's still a high damage game. Not 300k though, the next game. But it will be a pretty solid kill game. There'll be a lot of kills, you know. So, and also I'll be fighting a bit more ships than just battleships, I guess. Well, last game we also fought a lot of cruisers, you know. We did big damage to those cruisers, so... Boom! The Colombo does go full broadside to 2 of my battleships, and he just does end up dying. But that's pretty much it for this game, to be honest. The Condi does die. But that's pretty much it, so I think we should take a look at the score. Alright, so we ended up doing 306k, 117 damage, 421 shell hits, 117 bomb hits, 22 fires, Witherer, Dreadnought, and High Caliber. Team score, we ended up getting top of our team here, 2.3k base XP. As you can see, the base XP is lower than last game. This is because we mostly did damage to battleships, instead of also mixing it up with cruisers. As you can see, our damage came from the 90k on the Satsuma, 87k on Colombo, 58k on Schlieffen, 39k on Iowa, 18k on Smolensk, and 10k on Azuma, and 200 HP on the Condi. 61k damage received. As you can see, our damage, actually, we got around 15k extra bomb damage this game, but we also did 24k, I think, less gun damage. This is because, of course, we had to use more islands. You can't arc over the islands as much. Of course, last game, we were able to do more with our guns. This game, we couldn't. Fires, 112,000 damage. As you can see, the fire damage in this ship is incredible. Let's go into the last game that I want to showcase for you guys today, which is, well, you'll see. Alright, here we are in our third and final game that I want to showcase for you guys from yesterday. 16 games. This one's on two brothers. So again, not too island heavy, especially with our spawn. Now, if you spawn mid, you can of course sit on mid here and get infinite damage, because you can just sit on that island. You're not gonna get spotted. And you can just airstrike, for example, the enemy Yamato, who's right there. You can just airstrike him constantly. Now, we know I'm spotted here, so I'm pinging the map. There's a destroyer here. It's a Shimakaze. And there it is. We knew that there was a destroyer there because we were spotted. Of course, you need to start paying... Well, if you don't pay attention to those things, you have to be very aware of those things. It's very important to be aware of those things, especially when you're playing a ship like this. A ship that doesn't have hydro. You need to be on top of your game when it comes to figuring that out. Here's a Shima. He's suffering. He's beached. We kill him. That's our first kill of the game in 2 minutes, 40 seconds. Wooster spotted here. We can just free airstrike him for now. Of course, he's going to be shooting down some of our planes, but that's okay. Schlieffen here with me. I have nothing really much to say right now at the start of the game. But yeah, we did lose a destroyer, I guess. But we also traded one out, so that's not too bad. I'm kind of just trying to chill out here. I don't want to get too close yet. Because if I get too close, as you can see, the Kaba is on the 1-2 line. He's probably gonna come up to spot me. If he comes up to spot me, I'm spotted in front of a Colombo, Yamato, and another Yamato. I'm mostly scared about the Colombo, though, because he does have 16 guns. The sap will smash you. Even the AP will smash you. So you have to be really careful against a ship like that. So it also doesn't... Like, because of that, I don't really want to open water the Kaba just to get spotted. I don't really want to take big risks here. Because if you die, well, GG, right? So it's better to not die, I guess. I mean, that's fairly obvious, but... I know some people are like, you gotta shoot the destroyers all the time. And in this case, we can, because we're dark. But that Colombo is scary. And let's say you shoot the destroyer, you get spotted, right? Okay, you need to shoot this. You need to shoot the destroyer all the time. I get it, guys. It's really important, right? It's really important. But like, what if you get death struck shooting the destroyer? Is it really worth it? Realistically, is it worth shooting the destroyer? Just because you did like 1k extra damage to it? Like, is that worthwhile? I don't think so, you know? But in some situations, of course, you should be shooting the destroyer if you're not gonna take massive risks shooting it. If it's, of course, in your detection range, obviously shoot it. Look at the Shima. We shot it, obviously. But this Kaba, I'm not really gonna shoot it. I don't really do too much damage to a Kaba unless he's full broadside, because I don't have guns that actually pen his side armor. So at these ranges, at longer ranges, I'm gonna have quite a hard time doing consistent damage to him. But we do have a Wooster here. I am gonna take big damage, and this is what I wanted to say here. Look how much damage this ship eats. Well, we took 10k there, but I think we'll continue to eat some damage here. And I panic a bit. But we're trying to kill this Wooster. I get a bit greedy here to kill this Wooster because I really don't want him to get away. If he gets away, he's gonna heal up. He's gonna be a threat for my destroyers later on. He has radar. And so if we actually just end up killing him here, their team has almost no utility on this side. And therefore, Well, of course, they only have a cover, right? So their detection on the destroyer is 9.6 or something with a certain build. So I'm getting smashed for it, though. But I really want to kill the Wooster. You could say it's greed, and you could say it's actually against of what I was saying a second ago. But killing the Wooster here is super important long-term for this match. Because this match does end up being close. Having a DPM ship like that alive on the enemy team, who can sit behind an island later on, farm my battleships, or even just kill one of my destroyers randomly for nothing, would be awful. So I'm happy to kill him there and take a bit of damage. And of course, just heal it back up later. But of course, maybe we could have been a bit more on our game to dodge the shots, etc. But I also wanted to keep him spotted, so I had to be in front of the rock. The Kappa does get hit really hard, as you can see. I don't even know what hit him that hard, but he got kind of smashed hard, so it also makes it a bit easier for us to win the game. But we do have 3 ship deaths right now. They have 2 kills. I believe they are ahead on points. The match won't show it because, well, it's bugged. The replay, I think, inverts points, so, you know. But anyway, look what gets spotted here. Bow in. A Yamato. When they're bow in like this and they're not able to turn out, or they're just gonna sit bow in, you get free damage. I had I think a Musashi earlier I was fighting, and the damage you can get because of like a fire is incredible. You have to also keep in mind that IJN battleships only have a 10-second DCP time. So by the time you get your second strike, you can literally launch instantly when he DCPs. Because you're gonna get that fire. You're likely gonna get that fire. Now, the Trump, unfortunately, has faster dropping bombs. So, unfortunately, he does get that fire instead of me. But I get a rear fire anyway. I was a bit disappointed because I probably could have double lit him there and gotten super fires. But it is what it is. I wish Wargaming would reward you for making a DCP and then your friends or your teammates are getting fires from your DCP, for example. I wish you could get rewarded in a way. For example, we call it in tanks, they call it assisting damage. Maybe they don't put it as actual damage in this game either. They add it on to maybe, instead of, you see the spotting damage, instead of that you have assisted damage under it. Like an extra assisted damage would be pretty cool, because I'm sure like a lot of people who blow DCPs, for example, from floods, from torps, or from guns, etc., and then someone else steals or takes your fire, a lot of people, including myself, get really disappointed because we're not getting, you know, we made the guy DCP that one fire, yet we're not getting really rewarded for that at all, right? So it would be pretty cool if there was a way that they could do like maybe assisting damage, etc., or something. Maybe don't add it directly to the damage, but just give us like an indication of like, this is your assisting damage, you know, this is what you helped your team do. And it would be pretty cool, maybe even if they could include it in the XP count, because, you know, it would be pretty nice. I think, I don't believe it's in the game right now, of course it's not, but that would be a pretty cool addition. Let me know what you think of that, actually. And I wonder if any of you are still here at this point in the video. We're up to 3 kills here. This is a long video, I'm sorry. I really enjoy playing this ship, I have to say. The ship is pretty good, so I'm happy to feature, well, 2 videos in 1 week on this ship, but this video is going to be really long because my review wasn't that long. It was like 20 minutes. Only 1 game was featured. This one's going to be a long video. Unfortunately, I'm missing my drops a bit. We do get a fire there, which is pretty nice. 10 seconds for the drop. 5 seconds, maybe? Maybe. Ooh. Am I going to drop him, though? Or am I going to go for the Colombo? I'm going to go for the Colombo. Reason being I go for the Colombo here is, well, there's a Colombo on my team at like 2 kilometers from this Prince. So obviously the Prince is going to die. There's like, and the Colombo is healthy. So there's no way it loses that. So there's no point in me just dropping and like basically stealing his damage, etc. We do get a fire on a Colombo, which is pretty nice. He is running away, which is also pretty nice for me because I can just keep pushing him and staying dark. Boom! Airstrike on the Yamato. Look at this, guys. This is cringe. Now, there was 2 decisions I could have made. Either go north and fight the Marceau, which I can never spot, and the Yamato in the open with the Montana, GK, Hindenburg. Or I go south and use my airstrike ability to sit behind the island and do damage anyway and not die, which is really important right now because, as you can see, the game's really close. And the decision I made was, I'm gonna go south. Even though there's nothing south side, you can airstrike people from behind the island. So it's honestly the best decision here is to not go in the open, get outspotted by that Marceau destroyer. You need to be on your game in terms of like positioning with the ship. Like if you're gonna go north here because you think, oh, I need to defend B, you're gonna die. Probably. Likely. And you're not gonna do anything. You're just gonna die for free, which is pretty bad. So don't do that. You have to be on top of your game. Of course, just depends on the match. In this match, I made the decision to go south. It was the right decision at the end of the day. So I'm happy I made that decision. Now, of course, the Colombo did die, so we're not going to get direct gun damage on anything. But of course, I'm also going to go to the C-cap and try cap it, whilst also trying to get into range of my airstrike to output some damage. The Marceau is up north, probably chasing the Tromp. Tromp does outspot Marceau, so it's not really a big problem if the Tromp's pre-kited, which he is. Good job on him. But yeah, I think this should be relatively easy to do damage. Now, two brothers... You know, it depends. It depends where you spawn. If you spawn on the one like I did, if you're south spawn, it's actually pretty hard to play Utrecht. If you're north spawn, it's actually okay. And if you're just spawn mid, it's perfect. If you spawn on the right side, it's also a bit hard on both flanks actually to play. So the best spawn you could get on two brothers is mid spawn, to be honest. But most of the time, division spawn mid. So if you're playing solo and there's a div in your match, well, you're probably not going to spawn mid. So keep that in mind. But mid is the best spawn for Utrecht on this map, for sure. We do get a fire kill there on the GK. Pretty easy to get. We're going to try going to the C-cap. We're up to 4 kills, by the way. Which isn't too crazy, but I keep going. This is a close match. This is why I wanted to feature this match as well. It's not like a 300k game, of course. Which maybe that's all you care about in life, guys, but... You know, it's also, you know, I wanted to include it because I think it's still a good match to feature. Because it's a close match, it also tells you a bit about the decision making. Why am I now going north to fight the destroyer? Why am I playing south behind the island? You know, I try to explain all the reasoning behind why I'm doing certain things in this ship. You know, maybe I didn't do that enough in the review because, well, it was just one game. In this case, we had 3 games where I can just talk about my decision making in every single game and why I'm doing certain actions, etc. We get a double fire there on the Yamato. Pretty good. Now he's, of course, in range of my airstrike. And the Montana's turning in. We get double fire. Look at this fire chance, by the way. Triple fire. The fire chance is immense, guys. Okay, you can light a lot of fires. Maybe it's because it's a new ship. And we got that improved bonus early access RNG. And I don't know, man. This ship's doing pretty well, you know? This ship's doing pretty well. Good ship. If you're gonna like things that fight destroyers, though, like with your own spotting, etc., you might not like this thing. You need a teammate to spot for you, the destroyer, or you need a destroyer on the other team that's really dumb and just shoots you for no reason. That's the only way. It's the only way. Boom! Triple fire again! Look at the fires, man! It's insane. We get Kraken here. We get a 193,000 damage. So yeah, I'm happy I went south. Think about it. If we went north, the Marceau would have spotted us the entire time. And he would have probably chased us. And we would have probably not even been in airstrike range for the most part. Would have been a horrible decision if we went north. While south, we got to free farm, by the way. Absolutely free farm with this ship behind rocks. No risks whatsoever if you're able to use rocks and ships are close enough. By close enough, I mean 14 kilometers away. That's not even that close. And of course, this is a big island. It's very wide or long or high or whatever you want to say. So there's a big distance that there's, you know, like the island in the way from. If you're sitting down here, there's a big island, right? So if they're here, that's quite long range. But let's say you sit behind a small island, you know, it's more likely they're going to be closer to you. So I don't know if I explained that well. It doesn't matter. It's not that important. We got a fire there on Yamato. I'm spotted by Marceau here. Marceau gets called out somehow. I think he's spotted by our Haaland. I switch to HE. You can do big damage with the AP. As you can see, we got 7.5k AP damage on the Yamato right there. From, I don't know what range, like 12, 13, 14 kilometers. Which is pretty good. But yeah, as you can see, we're also able to hit Marceau's relatively, I wouldn't say super easy because they're still fast, but quite easily because the shell travel time is really fast on this ship. Able to kill him, get our 6th kill of the game. Torpedoes on steerboard. Of course, we don't have Hydro, so when you see a Destroyer, it's likely best to angle to it, especially if you think he torped you. In that case, I didn't really expect it, but it's still important to, like, angle to that target anyway. Plus, there was a Yamato to angle to regardless, so... Good. 228k damage. I don't think we're gonna get much more this game. Yeah, nothing more. That's pretty much the game. Let's take a look at the score. All right. So we ended up doing 228,000 damage, 254 shell hits, 141 bomb hits, 6 kills, 23 fires. Wither, Confederate, Kraken, and High Caliber. Team score, we ended up doing top of our team again. 2.8k base XP. Not too bad. These two players played pretty well. I complimented each of them. Actually, they played pretty well as well. The Venezia and the Colombo. And actually, the Trump did as well. Detailed report. 43k on the Worcester, by the way. We demolished that Worcester very fast. Most of it came from guns and fires. Maybe the fires were also lit by the airstrike, but you don't know. But yeah, pretty good mix of damage. 38k on the Yamato, 30k on the Montana, 15k on the GK, 12k on the Shima, 2k on the Marceau, 43k on the other Yamato, 25k on the Colombo, 12k on the Prince, and 3k on the Haba, or Kaba. We got 65k with HE, 81k from bombs, and 69k from fires. As you can see, quite low in terms of the actual... We got 81k bomb damage, which is as much as our other 300k game, but maybe there were more DCPs. We also got 40k less gun damage, etc. So, credits and XP. Here you go. Let's go take a look at the build. Alright, so for my build for the Utrecht, Last Stand, Focus Firing Training, Survivability Expert, Superintendent, Concealment Expert, Adrenaline Rush, Heavy HE and Sap Shells, and Demo Expert. I'm using Class Jansen with the improved Demo Expert. I do not have access to the Special Commander yet. We can't showcase that for you guys. So this is the captain I used yesterday. Equipment. So whatever those games were, if you had the Special Captain, every single one of those games would have been better. Of course, that captain is work in progress, subject to change, but, you know, who knows. For equipment, we have Main Battery Mod 3, which is Reload Mod, Concealment System Mod 1, Airstrike Mod 1, Aiming System Mod 1, Engine Boost Mod 1, and Main Armaments Mod 1. I want to actually showcase the Camouflage as well for the ship, because I couldn't showcase it for you guys in the actual video, the review, because I didn't have access to the camos, but now I do. So this is the normal permanent camo for the ship, which is just a white, I guess, which is, I guess it's okay, whatever. Yeah, it's cool, I guess. We also have the early access camo. Unity makes strength. Of course, like I said, it's not really worth getting the early access event. You should just wait the 3 months and get the ship for free in Tech Tree. But this is what the permanent camouflage looks like for those of you who aren't gonna be able to get it. It looks like one of those old Dutch sailing ships, etc. As you know, the Netherlands is known for, I guess, one of the things they're known for is their big navies back then. So that's, I guess, why they made a camo like this. It looks not bad. I think the green's okay. I actually prefer the camo on the tier 9 if I have that. The cohorn. I think the color on the cohorn's perma camo, the brown, looks pretty nice. The tier 8 one also has a blue. I think I can showcase that as well before we go next. Hold on. So that's event pass, I think. Yeah. Big view. I actually like the blue as well. I think the blue is awesome, to be honest. It has some little clouds here. I think it looks pretty cool, to be honest. I think it looks alright. So yeah, those are the perma camos available for early access. But that is pretty much the Utrecht for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Oh, one more thing I want to showcase is the statistics that I've had in yesterday's session that I played in it. Yesterday was patch day, so all these stats are just from one day of me playing it. I actually did buy it early access, so I don't recommend you do it. I was like really bored, and I did it, you know. And I spent my own money for it. But if I did, you know, it's for content, right, guys? It's for the channel, right? Now, it was obviously a horrible financial investment, because I don't think I'm going to make that money back. for a long time, actually, because it was quite a lot of money. But it's okay. I just want to do it once. I was desperate for content. Where is this? This is the hardest part of the video, man. Trying to find the Utrecht in this list. There it is. So I played 16 games in the ship, 75% win rate, 161k average damage so far. Not too bad. As you can see, our highest damage gain, 326k. And our warships destroyed is CX maximum. Which are both the games I featured today. I featured 3 games. That's pretty much it for this video, guys. Let me know what you think of the video. Let me know what you think of the Utrecht. Of course, let me know what you think of the format. Do you like that I featured 3 games? And also, let me know if you made it this far in the video. Did you watch all 3 matches? Did you watch one of the matches? Let me know. And if you only watched one of the matches, I recommend you watch the first one. If you didn't watch that one's a good one. But that's pretty much it. One more thing I want to say is, guys, if you want to support the channel, you totally don't have to do it. If you want to support the channel the extra mile, there is the join button next to the subscribe button. Like I said before, I don't do sponsorships or anything. I don't get sponsored anything. I don't know why. But I don't do sponsorships regardless. So if you want to support the channel, you don't have to. There's a join button next to the YouTube thing, next to the subscribe button. Basically what it is, it starts at $1 a month. You only have to pay that amount to get everything. I purposely made all the rewards available on the first level. Basically what it is if you want to support the channel, it's like $1. You get a super container mission in game if you have your account linked to the Wargaming account, your YouTube account to the Wargaming account. It's not for the super container you do it to support me, the channel, I guess, if you want me to create more content, etc., whatever. And if you have that money. Of course, there are the higher levels. The higher levels do give you the same rewards, but you have no, there's no need to go for the higher levels. There's not even any need to go for the basic level. But you also get some little emotes you can use next to the comments. You also get like a little shield every time you comment, etc. So it could be a little nice thing. If you want to do it, you don't have to do it. But that's pretty much it, guys, for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think. And if you really enjoyed, leave a like and a sub to the channel. And maybe a comment. I would greatly appreciate it. It helps me out a lot for the algorithm, etc. But that's pretty much for the Utrecht for today. And I'll see you in the next video. Big fan.